Good morning and happy Wednesday. Today we're going to be talking about creating an amazing evening routine. Plus I have a fun giveaway that I am excited about. So welcome, so glad to have you all here. Good morning. I'm running way late today and I will not go into the laundry list of reasons why I am. It was just a rough morning here, but I'm here and I'm so glad to be here. So I want to start out with a fun giveaway because I got some things in the mail yesterday that I thought I would love to pass on. So this morning I'm going to give away I have 4 of these hymn CDs from SheReadsTruth, and I got this recently and have just really loved these. And I know most people don't even do CDs much anymore, but I burn them onto my computer so I can listen to them. Yes, my shirt, I love the shirt. I got it recently from Sense of Style, and I adore it. And this shirt is my reminder to show up in people's lives. To if you did the book club scope when we did the Just Show Up book club scope, that is what I got this shirt for, because I was like, I need that reminder. I want to show up in people's lives. Okay, so I have 4 of these to give away, and the way to enter to win is to tweet at me. So I am MoneySavingMom on Twitter, and so I would love to pass these on to someone who would just really be blessed by them. These hymns, I've just listened to them over and over again, and they have really encouraged me. If you don't tweet, you can email me through the contact form on my site, but I would, if on Twitter, I mean, it's super easy to set up Twitter if you're on Periscope, and you don't have to tweet or anything, but you can just set it up to enter giveaways. So that's the first giveaway. And the second giveaway, I am super excited about this. I'm gonna give away a Lent study book from SheReadsTruth. Y'all know that I am a big fan of SheReadsTruth. And they're starting the Lenten study on February 10th. And so if you've always wondered what SheReadsTruth is like, and if you've always thought, I'd like to participate, I'd love to get the book, maybe you couldn't afford it, I want to give one away. So this is the Lent study book. I will show you what it looks like inside. It's so beautiful. I adore SheReadsTruth. So anyway, and it also comes with these 2 beautiful prints. I always put the print on my fridge when we're going through the study, just to remind me of what I'm learning. So anyway, so there's 4 hymn CDs up for grabs and the Lenten study book, and I will mail them out in the next day or 2. And so tweet at me. I'm MoneySavingMom on Twitter, and I will be picking winners this afternoon. If you want to try to 140 characters, tell me why and give me a really good reason why you should win. I am not above, not bribery, but I'd love to, for you to tell me that you're really going to use in your home and why and how it's going to bless you. So that's that. I'm MoneySavingMom on Twitter. Okay, so today we're talking about an evening routine. How to create an amazing evening routine. And we're talking about this because this is something that I am working on myself. And we've been talking about evenings this week because I'm working on the Go to Bed Challenge on my blog, MoneySavingMom.com. And I am just working through this on my own. So I wanted to share with you what I'm learning and thinking through as I am working on doing a better job of winding down early, of setting up my evenings in a way that sets up my next day for success. If you missed yesterday's scope, you can go to catch.me/MoneySavingMom. That's katch.me/MoneySavingMom. Okay, so you said you're still working on mornings. That's totally okay. You know what? I found that mornings are great to work on, but a good morning starts the night before. So yesterday's scope was on really thinking through kind of your ideal evening routine and everything that you would love to accomplish in the evening. Now, we can accomplish it all. So we need to then take that list of all these ideas and come up with the amazing evening routine that is realistic. So number one, if you want to create an amazing evening routine, you need to make a list of all those ideas. So if you didn't do that yesterday, I want you to just make either a mental list or actual physical list. I would encourage you to actually write it all down. Write down every single thing that you can come up with that you think it would be really great to do that before I go to bed. That would really help me to do that before I go to bed. That would really set up my mornings for success if I did that before I went to bed. So make that long list. Yep, brain dumps are so good. So just dump all those ideas out of your brain. And then number two, you need to prioritize the list because you can't do it all. You don't have 24 hours at night to do all your stuff to prepare for the next day. But you can prioritize the list. And so go through that long list and I want you to star the things that you think, this is really something that will make a big impact. This is something that if I do this thing every night, it's going to have a domino effect. Charles Duhigg in his book, The Power of Habit, talks about keystone habits and how it's that one thing that when you do that, it has a trickle-down effect on all other areas. So for us, for instance, a keystone habit that we've been working on is our morning routine. Now, you might feel like Crystal is really not doing a good job of her morning routine because she's been so sporadic on scope, but actually, we've been a lot more consistent. The reason that I've been a little bit more sporadic and not on time on scope, a lot of it has to do with the fact that I am making my family's morning routine a huge priority. Instead of before it was my personal morning routine and now it's making my family's morning routine a huge priority. So that one habit, doing that the whole month of January, has had a major impact on all areas of our life. So it's been a keystone habit, and that's not in the evening, but that's in the morning. And so I see how then in the evening I want to do a few things that are going to make a huge impact. One of those for me that I've been working on implementing is every single night sitting down with each of my kids for 10 minutes and reading a devotional with them and just talking with them, saying, what do you want to talk about tonight? Do you have any questions for me? What can I pray for you? What have you been thinking about? It's only 10 minutes, but you can accomplish a lot in 10 minutes. And it's that opportunity for your kids to know they have complete one-on-one time with mom, that mom is giving her full attention, and it's their time, it's their space to be able to talk about whatever it is that they want to talk about. Because I want to know my kids, I want to hear their heart, I want to know what they're struggling through, but I have to take the time and put in the intention to make that happen. So for me, that is a keystone habit because that is going to have a lifelong impact. And I feel like when I spend that time with my kids before bed and make that a priority, it has a trickle-down effect for the next day and the next day and the next day because they feel like their love tank has been filled up to have just that quality one-on-one time with mom every night before bed. And I think it gives them that sense of security too. And when kids feel secure, they are much calmer, they are much happier, they are much more obedient, and it affects so many areas of their life. So that for me is something that I say when I look at my list of all the different things, like I want to prioritize that time with my kids. A couple other things for me that I want to prioritize are taking my pills before I go to bed. I have some vitamins and some pills that I have to take in order to function well. And a lot of times I'm just tired. And I also use this nasal rinse thing because I have really bad polyps in my nose. And if I don't use the nasal rinse, then my polyps swell up and then I have a bad headache and I can't breathe and I can't smell and it's lovely. More information than you needed to know. But anyway, every night I'm like, do I have to blow my nose out and take my pills and wash my face? It's this whole big long process. But every time when I do that, I sleep so much better and I feel so much better the next day. So making that a priority is a big deal, because then I don't wake up with a headache the next morning. I wake up with energy and I sleep better and so many things. And when I sleep better, then I feel better the next day. And I didn't do it last night before I went to bed, and I didn't sleep well last night. If you saw my Instagram or my blog post, I didn't sleep well last night. And I know that that was one of the reasons, because I didn't prioritize self-care. So taking my vitamins and blowing my nose out before I go to bed and spending that time with the kids, those are two things on my long list of ideas that I feel like this is really a priority, and I want to make those things a priority. I also found that laying my clothes out before I go to bed really helps in the morning, and cleaning up the kitchen. And so I kind of have levels of priority where I want to say, okay, these are the 2 must-dos. So devos with the kids, we call them devos, short for devotionals. Devos with the kids and taking my vitamins before I go to bed. Those are the 2 top priorities. Those have the biggest effect. But then the 2 secondary priorities would be laying my clothes out for the next day, doing a quick pickup of the house, and cleaning up the kitchen. Kind of 3 things, but we'll put them into 2. And so I am going to work on not only just saying I need to do those, I want to do those are a priority, but then I'm going to put that into an actual routine. So make a list of all your ideas, prioritize that list, and you could have first priorities and secondary priorities. And then number 3 is, you know what's coming, pick 2 to 5 things that you're going to do in the same order every single night. So what are those 2 to 5 things that you should do, that you are going to make yourself do? I shouldn't say make yourself do. That sounds like drudgery and misery. That you are going to choose to do every night before you go to bed, because you're going to set up your next day for success. So for me, that is, I'm going to pick, I already told you my 2 things, but I'm going to pick the 4 things, but I'm going to do the 2 things that are the priority first, which might seem a little flip-flop, because you're like, well, shouldn't you clean up the house and clean up the kitchen? And yes, and if that gets done right after dinner, then that's fantastic. But there are some nights, like tonight I have Bible study, I have ladies Bible study with a group of really close friends, and that's something that my husband and I decided is a priority for me this year. So I might not necessarily finish dinner with the family and get the house cleaned up. So tonight, my 2 priorities are devos with the kids as soon as I get home, and then put them to bed, and then my vitamins and blowing my nose out, which is so gross. I need to come up with like a better thing to call that. I could call it my nasal rinse. That's still not that good. Okay, but anyway, maybe we'll just say take vitamins, and that encompasses everything. So those are the 2 things that I'm going to do first every single night. And then if I have time and energy and I haven't conked out yet, then clean up the kitchen and the house if it's not already clean, and lay my clothes out. And the whole clean up the kitchen and the house for me is just like a super quick, run through the house, pick up we keep our house fairly clean at all times, because we try to pick it up twice a day, and we have people in our house pretty much almost every single day. We have people over at our house, people who work for me, or friends or whatever. Almost every day there's people at our house, and so that is a good motivation for me to keep the house clean. We try to clean it up in the mornings after we finish our morning time with school. I try to kind of have the whole house picked up, and then at night again, usually after dinner if we're home. So when I say clean up the house, it's not like this big 4-hour sort of thing. It's just a real quick pickup. So those are the 2 things. Those are my secondary priorities. If I get the first 2 done, then do the second 2. Lay my clothes out and do a quick pickup of the house and make sure the kitchen's clean. So for me, it's helpful to just say, okay, those are my 4 things. Those are my 4 things. And the 2 that are the biggest priority, that's what I'm going to focus on. And then if I can get the other 2, that's great. So number 1, you're going to make a list of all your ideas. Number 2, you're going to prioritize that list. Number 3, you're going to pick 2 to 5 things that you're going to do every single night in the same order. If it helps you, you might put time blocks on them. You might say, from this time to this time, I'm going to focus on this. From this time to this time, I'm going to focus on this. And then I'm going to wind down and go to bed. My goal with the Go to Bed Challenge is to be in bed by 9 p.m. So I have to work backwards and say, okay, then I need to start for sure by 8:30. Probably realistically, I need to start by 8 o'clock. And if I'm doing really well, I should start at 7:30. But there are some nights when that's just not possible. Like tonight, I have ladies Bible study. I won't get home until a little after 8:30. So I'll just start in right then. But that still gives me enough wiggle room that I can be asleep by 10 o'clock. So 30 minutes with the kids, and then, you know, taking my pills and vitamins, that takes me about, probably about 7 minutes. And so there's still plenty of time. Then it's like 40 minutes total to get my 2 biggest priorities done. So for me to know the time frame that it takes, and that helps me to be able to work backwards and not just be like, oh, I can wait to even start until 9:45. My kids are hopefully going to be in bed by then. So, but that helps me so then I can work backwards, and then I can know I need to be starting in on this stuff really by 8 p.m. Realistically, I need to be starting by 8 p.m. because it takes 10 or 15 minutes. If I want to do the whole thing, it's going to take me 30 minutes with the kids, 10 minutes for vitamins, 10 minutes for 10 to 15 minutes for cleaning up the house really quickly, and then a few minutes to lay out my clothes. So that's an hour. So I need to start at 8 if I want to be in bed at 9. So I mean, this is all really basic stuff, but sometimes I need to be reminded of this and encouraged with this because I can fall off the bandwagon, and I need to, I'm sharing this because I'm preaching to myself. So once you made the list of all the ideas, prioritize the list, pick 2 to 5 things, and then number 4, the most important one, is that you need to commit to stick with it for 21 days. So that's what I am committing to you all, that I'm going to do those 2 priorities every single night for the next 21 days. I need to find some way that I'm going to keep accountable with that. I might do it on my daily Instagram post where I'm the MoneySavingMom on Instagram, and I've been posting every morning about my go to bed challenge, and I think I might put it on there so that I have that public accountability every single day of, did I do my evening routine? At least those 2 things, the 2 priorities. So 21 days. And when you stick with something for 3 weeks, you're much more apt for it to actually become a habit. And then it's just something that you do without thinking because it's become a part of your life. So, hashtag I blew my nose. Oh my goodness, Kiwi, that would be the best. Oh, thank you so much for saying that about Make of Your Year. I know I need to read better than before. I promise you I'm going to read it. I want to do a book club on it, and then I open it up and I'm like, there's a lot here. Am I ready to commit to this yet? And then I stick it back on my shelf, and I need to just pull it off and just do it. I just need to do it. Stacy keep getting on me about that. So anyway, commit for the next 21 days. And I'd love to hear from you. Maybe you can tweet at me, or you leave a comment, or you can contact me through the contact form on MoneySavingMom and tell me what are those 2 to 5 priorities that you're going to do every single night for the next 21 days. And you can check in with me every single day. I want to hear from you. I want to know how you're doing. And if I can kind of serve as your accountability partner by you checking in with me, either emailing me or tweeting at me every single day, please do it. I would love that. It's no extra work for me to take a little bit of time to see, oh, she did it. I'm so excited. So I'd love to be that, or find someone else to be your accountability partner. But have that accountability in place, find some sort of accountability, and then commit to it for the next 21 days. You can do it. I'm cheering for you. So I really am going to hop off after this and do the Rest Assured scope that I forgot to do yesterday until the afternoon. And then this afternoon at 3:30, we are going to have another Money Making Mom scope, and it's going to be on blogging again because I have more to share about blog post ideas. I know you'd think that I would be running out of stuff to say, but I got a lot of words. I got a lot of words to share, as my kids say. So I'm going to be sharing about blogging ideas. I'm going to be wrapping up that series probably either today or tomorrow. So that will be at 3:30 Central Time, 4:30 Eastern Time this afternoon. So go figure out your priorities for your evening routine and go make your evening routine those 2 to 5 things and commit to it for 21 days. And I am going to be cheering for you, and I will see you back here tomorrow, hopefully around 8 a.m. Central Time, but we will see. for more morning motivation. Have a great day.